This is the plaintiff, Christina Kachese. She says she hired the defendant to install a glass splash guard in her bath, and he botched the job big time. Her grandchildren could have been severely hurt because he didn't fasten the thick, heavy glass properly. It was a disaster waiting to happen. And she wants the $2,355 it's going to cost her to fix the defendant's shoddy work. So she's suing for just that. This is the defendant, Scott Cawley. He says he installed the glass shower wall properly. Then, a few months later, the woman demanded he drop everything and drive 3 hours to her house because she wanted it re-caulked. He doesn't know what the plaintiff did or how she treated the glass months after the job, and he can't believe she's suing him for all this money when the cost of the original job was only $900. He's accused of being all wet.
All parties, please raise your right hand. The People's Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Marilyn Mullion is presiding. Good morning, Judge.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good. It's nice to see you.
Great to see you. Litigants have been sworn.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Ms. Kachese, you are suing Scott Cawley and C&C Glass Company, represented here by Mr. Cawley, who's the owner, for $2,355 because, according to you, he botched a job at your home. Tell me what happened, please.
I had a glass spray shield installed in my bathroom.
Okay.
And at the time, I was not living there.
All right.
I moved in 2020, May 2020.
All right.
And I noticed that the glass was moving back and forth. So I called him and I said,
okay, but when did he do the job?
Something's wrong.
When did he do the job?
The end of 2018.
Okay, but you didn't wait to, I realize you didn't move into the house because you were still doing other remodeling work, but you paid him in 2018. So when you paid him in 2018, before you paid him, did you look at the job?
I looked at the job and it looked fine.
Okay, and this is what we're talking about, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the idea is that there's an opening and you step into the opening, right? But there's no actual shower door.
Yes.
That's the idea. Okay, I got it. So when you paid him back then, everything looked fine. When did you discover that things were not fine?
When I moved into the house.
Okay, and when did you move into the house?
I moved into the house early May 2020.
So when you come in, after it never being used, and 2 years pass?
Well, a year and a half.
When did he complete?
2019.
Hold on one second. When did he complete the work?
November 2018.
Is that correct, sir? November 2018 is when you completed the work?
October of 2018, ma'am.
Okay, either way, October, November 2018. And when did you first say to him, you need to come back and fix this?
May 2020.
Okay. Does that sound right that she first contacted you in May 2020, sir?
No, it would have been May of this year, ma'am, Your Honor. It would be May of 2021.
Okay. So how did you contact him, Ms. Kachese? Did you contact him by text or email?
No, I phoned him.
Do you have any proof of having phoned him in May of 2020?
No, I don't.
Okay.
However, I did speak to him on the phone in 2020, and I told him that the glass was moving. And he said, I can't come now. It's COVID. You'll have to wait, and you can fix it yourself.
Okay. And now, Mr. Cawley, how long have you been in the business?
34 years.
Okay. I want you to look at the screen, this video.
Ridiculous.
Her complaint is that there's movement on this, that, you know, as you can see, there's actually, it's kind of a engineering marvel that there could be that much movement because I don't even see hinges on the other side. Are there any hinges?
No, that's actually glued into a channel that's screwed onto the wall.
Okay, so the channel gets screwed onto the wall, and then is there a channel? Why isn't the channel on the bottom screwed in?
For one reason, the water finds its way through, causes a problem. So 99%
but how come
of the time,
the screws on the channel on the vertical one don't cause a problem?
Because they're vertical. They're not in the bottom where water's going to find its way down through gravity.
Yeah.
And it's caulked besides. So I'm not saying that water would leak through the screw hole.
Okay.
It's just
how does this get
does.
repaired? She doesn't like the movement. How does this get repaired? You just caulk it again?
All we do is we use a very high bond silicone that they use for aquariums and high-end shower doors. Not $4 a tube like Home Depot. It's $50 a tube. I sent you the evidence. We have the actual tube here.
I got to imagine that you got better things to do than be in court. Like, Douglas and I are fine because this is what we do. May I just say it's a pleasure.
I mean, we did over 300 doors. We did over 300 doors, and we never had a complaint.
No, but why didn't you just go fix the latest thing?
We were shut down completely.
COVID
I went through
2020.
major surgery.
There you go.
I went through a major
When was your
surgery, and I
surgery?
sent her an email.
When was your surgery?
They did a reconstruction of
When
my
was
foot.
your surgery?
Actually, my surgery was done at the end of October of last year.
Of 2020?
They actually reconstructed.
Of
They
tw-
actually
of
cut
2020?
your heel off.
Of 2020?
Of 2020, yes.
Oh, well then,
yes.
if that's a reason you didn't go fix it, I guess she did complain in 2020.
No, she actually, I'm still
I
in the
asked
booth.
you why you didn't
I'm
fix
still in
it.
the
Can you
booth.
just
I'm still-
explain to me why you didn't fix it? If you're telling me stuff that happened in 2020, you're kind of killing your case.
Here's the whole, Judge Milian, here's the whole reason. I gave her a price on a new shower stall. After I gave her the price of $1,200, it was too much money, she said. So that's when the complaints started. There was no complaints about
Well,
the
then
shower.
why are you telling me about your foot surgery 7 months earlier as
Because
a
that's
reason
the
for
reason
why?
I'm not
Stop
going.
talking and listen.
That's the reason I didn't go in May.
What? But no, if your foot surgery was October of 2020, how is that an excuse for not fixing her complaints? Whenever her complaints were. I'm asking
Her
you.
complaints
No,
would be
don't talk over me.
tomorrow.
Don't talk over me. Let me mansplain to you what my question is. Then you can give me your answer. But first, let me explain my question. I asked you very specifically, why didn't you go to her house and just fix it? It's a $50 tube or something. You're going to use an inch of the $50 tube, and then you don't get sued because you got better things to do. And you launch into surgery you had in October 2020. All right, never mind, okay? Because she's giggling because that kind of proves her point that she complained earlier. Let's forget about when she complained. I have a very simple question. Let's say she complained 2 weeks ago. Why wouldn't you just send somebody to recaulk it so you wouldn't end up in court?
First thing is, I'm a sole proprietorship, and we've been closed because of the COVID.
Are you still closed now, or are you doing work?
Well, kind of, because I'm still disabled. I'm still in the boot. I'm still waiting for another surgery. So even if she wanted
So you retired? Completely.
No, I'm not retired.
No, if I called you tomorrow for a glass shower stall and I was willing to pay you $1,500, you'd come, right? Let's stop playing. You could have sent somebody over there. The question, don't talk over me. You got to stop talking over me. The question is, do you have to send somebody over there? And the question is, you are suing to get the return, not of the $900 you paid him, but very interestingly, 3 times that, $2,355. How do you figure?
I figured because he told me that expenses were on the rise. It costs him so much money to come here with his gasoline.
Can
and the
I
truck
ask you a
and
question? Did you
installing,
ever call
and
somebody
also-
to come and recaulk it? Because that's really your measure of damages, paying somebody to caulk. That you don't bring me. And then what you bring me, you tell me that the other people said he did it wrong. Can you show me where is the proof that the other people said he did it wrong?
No.
Then I am ready to rule. So here's what I've got when everything is distilled to its essence. I have work that was done in 2018. Nowhere here does it have a warranty, correct? Okay. Payment that was received in 2018. Complaints that happened either in 2020 or 2021, can't quite figure it out, and a demand that it be repaired in either 2020 or 2021 2 years later. This is not a $2,355 case. I have you claiming the other people said his work was shoddy. I have nothing from the other people saying his work was shoddy. And there is no evidence of how much recaulking would cost. But the question I have to answer is there some kind of warranty where he would have to subsidize the recaulking? And there isn't, according to the estimate you got. Your first complaint at best is almost 2 years later. The recaulking, which is what will solve it, is on you. My verdict in this case is for the defendant.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Well, the judge finds for the defendant in this case. The plaintiff just didn't have the ammunition to prove her testimony. She was upset at the end. Let's see what she has to say. Ms. Kachasi, what are you thinking right now?
It's very unfair. This is his livelihood.
Why do you say that?
And he did terrible. His reputation is down.
The judge thinks it's a fixable thing, and you could fix it. I'm sorry.
He won't fix
That's
it.
her decision.
He won't fix it. He won't come and fix it.
Well, you know, you didn't prove you complained in time, Ms. Kachasi. I'm sorry. But let's see what Mr.
He
Crowley
knows
has
that
to
he
say.
received phone calls from me. He's lying.
All right. Well, we've heard your testimony. I'm sorry the judge couldn't find in your behalf. Mr. Crowley, let me ask you, how do you feel about the outcome? I know you're relieved, but what do you think of what she had to say to you?
I agree totally with it. We stand behind our work. We have a perfect 5.5-star rating on Google. We've never had a bad review.
All right. Well, I guess what? You got a bad review this time. So you have one bad review after all these years. Sorry about that.
Thank you very much.
But that's the judge's verdict. Okay. All right, let's see what Harvey has to say about this case now. Harvey?
Doug, it is simple as this, that when you hire somebody to do something and it's not right, do not sit on your hands. You've got to complain immediately. You've got to make a case. You've got to send an email or a text outlining what's wrong. If you sit on your hands, you'll lose.
Have you ever been so mad at a litigant or a defendant that you took out your anger on the people in the following case?
Oh, no. I think it's, I mean, I do get mad,
Right.
But I think also in my personal life, I know this will come as a shocker, but I do get mad. Oh, no. But I think I get over it pretty easily. And
you definitely do on the bench. I mean,
you don't think at home?
Well,
I don't like your tone.
Just a minute. But that's like going home after a tough day and
kicking your dog. Yeah,
you
that's
just
the
don't
proverbial.
Do that. It's
you
just
don't
not
do that.
Done.
Yeah.
And you know, judges have to have patience. And you've said this a million times that when you put a robe on somebody, it enhances and amplifies their traits, good and bad.
Yes.
So, you know, you just got to be darn sure before you give them a robe and a gavel, just like before you give a police officer a badge and a gun, that they're the right kind of person, that they're never going to abuse that power, and they're not going to kick the litigants in the next case
right.
over the one that they just
Well
heard,
put.
right?
Well put.